Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Y'all like the content I've been dropping, direction that my channel was headed in, I need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos with anybody else you think may benefit from them, alright? Now, today's topic is really just off the cuff. I don't have any script, just some random thoughts that I'm having, and I think the name of this video will be Shift the Paradigm. Alright, shift the paradigm. And why I'm saying that is because when I think back to numerous books that I read, particularly the Kabbalion, okay? The first law in the Kabbalion was the law of mentalism, meaning that everything forms from the mind first. Literally everything that you see in physical reality came from some type of thought first. And we could go down a whole rabbit hole of creation and like how humans came about, and how even if you look in the religious texts like the Bible, there's some creator saying let there be light, then light forms. They take 7 days to establish how the world is supposed to work, and here we are just living beings within this reality, and none of us can really decode everything about it. We use religion to try to figure out the code. We watch movies and we feel like the elites put the truth in plain sight. We have premonitions, we have dreams, visions, and there's a little compass within every one of us that's telling us to go left or to go right. Hence a conscience, right? So the reason why I like the law of mentalism is because, of course, understanding these hermetic or even universal laws, I come to understand that any significant change that you want to make in your life, it takes a conscious meeting of the mind deciding what it is that you want, what direction you want to go, and the will, your own internal determination, the power, the force within you that makes you go through challenge and get through it. Like, there are so many different things that I see happening on the world stage, and I understand also with Stoic principles that I have no control over anything outside of myself, only to a certain degree. Like, I can influence things, but I can't really change what's outside of myself. So, case in point, my living space, you guys see where I live, right? This is my room. It could be chaotic. It could have clothes all over the place. It's not about this YouTube video. This is my standard that I have for myself. You see my hair is cut, my face is shaven, like beard lined up and all of that. Like, that's in my control. My room is in my control. How much money I have on my account is on my control. Whether I decide I want to order a cheeseburger and fries, or whether I decide I want to slice up this salad and cook myself something more healthy and wholesome, it's all up to me. That's my choice, right? So that's under my control. So I have a microcosm, and I live within a macrocosm of things outside of me that I have no influence over or control over. So shifting the paradigm all has to do with, I think, first having that clear understanding that there are certain things that you can make an impact on. There are other things that you are supposed to leave to their own devices. But the priority for every human on earth, Michael Jackson made the song Man in the Mirror. If I look in the mirror and I think about all the things that I have going on, all the issues that I need to face, all of the things that keep me from reaching my long-term goals or objectives, all of the fears that I've internalized, all of the, let's say, trauma that I need to sort out and work through, there should never really be a time that I'm focusing on someone else, especially if it's with the finger pointing and having a negative disposition. You know, I have so many things that I could be working on in order to improve my own life or shift my own paradigm. And, you know, if I segue real quick, there are numerous times that I look back in my life and I'm glad I had the consciousness within my psyche to have shifted my paradigm in order to get into a different position that led me to the next phase of my journey. Like, first paradigm shift for me was going to high school, right? I was 16, I was a junior, and my birthday is in May. So most of the time, if y'all go to school in the West, you typically go on your summer break, which for us is like 3 months, basically from June all the way till late August, early September. So my birthday being in May, I was 16 as a junior, so I'm coming up on the tail end of my junior year, and that's when I landed my first job. And I was working at Fazoli's. If you guys are from the Midwest or y'all know about it, it's basically like kind of like a fast food Italian restaurant that has a drive-through function, but you can also come and sit there with your family and eat, and the food is pretty good, you know what I mean? Like, going on from my experience, it was pretty good, and it was dope having that experience working there. And I had a bunch of friends of mine where they worked there before me even, and I came in later, and that was a paradigm shift for me right there, because it was like, I'm in high school, like, I want to make money, and I don't want to always be one of those kids that is hyper dependent on their parent. I grew up with a single mom, so I was very observant of the energy. And I remember there was one time where I basically asked her to give me some lunch money, and I know she didn't mean it like the way I maybe took it. She was probably just flustered from her day or the fact that I woke her up or whatever, but how mad she got and how she told me to get her like, my paradigm shifted right there, because I decided I'm never gonna ask people for money, because money is in my control. I can cut grass, I can learn to cut hair, I can shovel snow, I can get out there and fucking pick up trash, I can go, I don't know, ask my friend's dad if he has a slot. Like, there's a way for me to make money, and that was the first paradigm shift for me. I'm gonna make money, and I'm never gonna be dependent on someone else to sustain me. So once I got that job, like, that solidified that. And reading books, of course, has always been something that I've done in order to get myself in position, because when I would look around and see other adults, I just noticed that it didn't seem like really they had a good handle on money. It's like, money is one of those things everybody wants more of. Everybody finds it taboo if you talk about, hey, how much do you make? Or, hey, you know, what would you do with $1 million? They find questions like that to be very cliche. But I figure if you don't have a good handle on money, you don't talk about it, nobody like is curious to pick up a book or maybe take a financial literacy course, then what's going to be the paradigm for these people? They're always going to be in a state of struggle. So by me reading books and understanding about the different types of investments that one can make, that was another thing that shifted my paradigm for me to be, let's say, financially pretty savvy, even in my young age. Next paradigm shift, of course, moving into my first apartment and having a roommate where he and I share similar outlooks. He was clean, I was clean. I'm the oldest, he's the oldest. You know what I mean? He's responsible, I'm responsible. So that was a dope experience, only being 18 and having actually a pretty nice apartment in the middle of the city where I grew up. You know, established independence, let me know how I can budget my time as well as my money. Gave me like a lot of insight into female nature too. Gave me a lot of insight into like paying bills and needing to show up on time with certain things that are very important. Knowing also that if I fall, there is no one to catch me. So that builds up strength, right? Joining the military, that was another thing that helped me shift my paradigm, you know, and on so many different levels. On so many, and I'm not even going to count them all in this video. Just know that if you're a lost man, meaning like you don't have very much guidance in your life, you don't really know what you want to do, you know, especially if you didn't grow up like with a dad in the home and stuff like this, joining the military is going to give you a very thorough, comprehensive toolkit that you can use at your disposal to flourish in life. You know, you're gonna learn about accountability. You're gonna learn about leadership. You're gonna learn about physical fitness. You're gonna learn about working with different individuals from all different types of walks of life. You're gonna understand what it's like to be out in the elements, to test your limits. You're gonna learn how to build a fire, how to use a knife, how to tie a tie, how to, so many things, how to shave correctly, like so many different things you're gonna learn. How to fight, how to shoot a gun, how to disable a gun, or disarm, disassemble a gun, how to throw a grenade, you know, how to read a map, how to fucking rent a car, how to stand up for yourself. Like, yo, you're gonna learn so much. Respect, discipline across the board. But one of the big things too, if you're especially like me and you're a little bit of a thinker, an intellectual, someone who's like has a voracious appetite to learn new things, and God forbid you pick up books and stuff, man, your paradigm will shift dramatically. Being in the military environment. And another extrapolation from the military would be you know, traveling to different states and coming across so many different types of people, man. Like, I've been around people from Nebraska, Oregon, damn Maine, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, fucking Philly, what do I know, California, Oklahoma, Washington. Met people from Texas, from, you know, all different types of, you know, Georgia, wherever, like wherever you want to name. Tennessee. I done met cats from literally all over the whole entire states, and we would sometimes be in the same group, kicking it, getting our hair cut, freestyling, playing basketball in the little gym or whatever, going on deployments together, what have you. So all of that helps you to shift your paradigm, because all the stuff that you maybe thought, me coming from like Huber Heights, Dayton, Ohio, that was a wholesome place for me to have grown up. But I got to add so much to my character just by being around different types of people. My music taste expanded, what I thought was dope, how I dressed, what I was exposed to, like hobbies, like everything just expanded tremendously. By me making the mental shift to first join the military, and then staying open and receptive to all the things that were happening around me. But like I said before, deploying to Iraq as an airborne combat medic definitely expanded my consciousness tremendously and shifted my paradigm for me to start to question the world at large. You know, I'm from the United States, but being outside of the country where I'm purged of all my vices, I don't have my Cadillac DeVille on rims. I don't get off and get to go in the barracks, get fresh, and then go bowling on a Tuesday night, or go sit at Buffalo Wild Wings and have a couple cocktails with some chicken wings. Like, I'm in Iraq, dog, like, and it's for a whole year straight. So yeah, I don't get to drink, I don't get to hang out with nobody, I'm not having sex, I'm not, you know, running on dates with different types of chicks or nothing like that. I'm not even dressed in normal clothes. I don't even see grass. Like, real talk, I'm just surrounded by the desert. And being a medic, like, your job is very stressful, and you're literally the one-stop shop for people who get injured or are on the brink of death. So it's a very demanding job that can pull a lot out of you and lead you to be very depressed. But in my case, it actually showed me what I'm made of, because when I came across my first casualties, I actually performed above the standard, which gave me confidence, let me know that my training was effective. You know, it put me in a leadership role once again, because people knew they can count on me in a crunch. And then, not to mention that, but like, man, I'm just running through the gamut of things that's happened in my head. And it's so crazy that I was only like 22 experiencing like my first dead body, my first patient that was literally about to be out of here. But we did the right interventions, and he now walks, talks, and comes in later and thanks me. You know, things like this definitely shifted my paradigm. And it made me question things. It made me start to study the government, study geopolitics, investigate more about the Middle East. Like, what is the significance of us being over here? Like, what besides weapons of mass destruction? Like, there has to be a bigger picture at play. And I started learning about, you know, propaganda, or Edward Bernays, and you know, Henry Kissinger, you know, all these, Dick Cheney, and all these people. Like, I started to study so much, and it literally just blew my lid as far as going down the rabbit hole, so to speak. All right, moving to Germany, you know, while I was in the military. So since December 2010, I've basically lived in Germany. Now, right now, I'm in Kuwait, okay, for my second time around, working as a contractor. But living outside of the United States for, even my brother said, like, dang, you've been out of the United States longer than, basically you've been overseas as an adult longer than you have been in the States, so your whole adult life has been overseas. So it has shifted my paradigm tremendously. And like, I've been all over the place with this video trying to pull from my own anecdotal experience about how if you have any little desire within you to get out in the world and see what it has to offer, or to try something new, or maybe there's a job offer that you could take, but maybe fear is holding you back, maybe doubt is keeping you from making that call and setting up that interview to finalize everything. Like, I'm here with this video to let you know that you should do it. You should just do it, man. Actions trump everything. And the beauty of getting yourself out of your comfort zone is that you probably will shift your paradigm. I came to Kuwait the first time, right? But already, while I was working one job, my paradigm shifted the minute I got another job. I then left Kuwait. Didn't really have my intention on coming back, but didn't burn a bridge or leave with an attitude. And like, now I'm back here again. And my mind is already forecasting what I'm gonna do in the next chapter, because I'm in a constant state of evolution through shifting my own paradigm by making mental tweaks to my consciousness that set me up to physically be somewhere else in the world. And it's such a beautiful thing. Like I gotta tell you, it's a beautiful thing to shift your paradigm. It's a very necessary habit to develop, because you will constantly be in a state of evolution. How can your life be stagnant when you know how to shift the whole paradigm? Like, literally, a paradigm is something, it's like a state of existence, right? And it can trap you in if you keep the same mental mindset. Like, mindset is everything, is what I'm trying to explain. Okay? There's one dude who plays basketball here, but then there's another dude who takes on Kobe's mindset. Trust me, I don't care how talented this dude is on the left. You will find the other dude to be a noteworthy name, especially over time, as his habits compound. Okay? You've been living in a small city your whole life. You know everybody from A to Z that walks past, or that drives past, or that comes in the gas station. I'm not saying you got to be a world traveler and go to goddamn Papua New Guinea. Maybe you're content living where you are. But what I'm saying is, shift your paradigm if you want to change your reality. It has to be a mental switch that you make first before anything else can take off. So my brother and I were having a very in-depth conversation the other day, and not to get too fly about finance and stuff like that, but I know I'm going to be a millionaire because I've already made the mental switch that I am a millionaire. So I think, talk, act, walk, maneuver, and internalize the notion that I already am a millionaire. Even if I'm doing something that's counter to what it seems like a millionaire would do. So like in this case, for example, I'm working as a contractor. There's a surefire way of being a millionaire, which would be, I'm gonna stay out here for as long as I can to make a million. But I'm already making the shift because I understand, you don't become a millionaire typically by just giving your time for money. You become a millionaire by giving more value to people who are willing to pay you for a product or service. So you need to get into some type of business. Millionaires usually have about 7 streams of income, and there are 3 different ways to long-term wealth. That's going to be investing, real estate, or having a successful business, or a combination of all 3. So I don't need to talk about it. I'm living it, I've internalized it, I'm shifting my paradigm. And I want everybody that's watching this video to do the same thing. Understand that it starts in the mind first, and then the body follows and executes. Okay? So with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. I'll holler at y'all on the next one.